oras na Pilipinas diri sa 1197 DXFE and kauban na nato karon pinaagi sa Zoom, no? Si atong guest karon nga kabuntagon after experiencing multiple family insurance claims for the past 20 years. Si Mon is a financial advisor that understands firsthand how financial plans can help in a difficult situation. Now, he spends his time around being a husband, a father, and working with clients in building their own financial plans. Atong welcome, no, si Sir Mon Echeverria. Sir Mon, maayong buntag. Happy New Year.
Buntag. Happy New Year, Pastor Ton. Can you hear me?
Yes. Loud and clear.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Pastor Ton.
Salamat sa time, Sir Mon, no? I know nga medyo busy pud ka pero gitagaan gid binimog higayon karon nga kabuntagon to share ang imuhang mga insights.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure, Pastor. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. How's your New Year celebration? Alam ba mo dihas balay?
Of course, it was noisy. Saba ang mga silingan. But kita nga mga amahan, no? We try to keep the as possible. Ang bata, makuratan. By the way, for the listeners, I'm a young father. My son is turning 2 years old this January. No? So, if mga parents din makasabot kay makuyaw-kuyawan pa ang bata. But anyway, we had a simple, quiet, but meaningful celebration with family.
Yeah. And ang atong topic karon is about simple ipon tips, no, for syempre sugod sa tuig. So naagid tay mga goals nga himuon, mga plano nga himuon. And isa diha ang financial plan, no, financial goal nato, no, sa pagsugod sa 2022. Uba siguro 5 years na nga ginaplano. But it's good to know that we have someone, no, nga maka-guide sa ato, makatudlo sa ato. But before we will go sa kaning simple nga mga ipon tips, Sir Mon, no, unsa kahay mga kasagaran nga rason nganong dili man ta makaipon?
Well, there are many reasons. You can look outside, pero the first reason is tanaw ni mo sa salamin. So mo na ang pinaka main nga reason nganong dili ta kaipon. Dira makita na nimo, no, na dire na sa imong ulo, na sa imong lawas, na sa imong kamot. Na dira tanan all the reasons that can tell you why certain efforts do not materialize. Yeah. And especially when it comes to finances. So, murag kung nakay systematic way lang, what is stopping me from doing this? Number one, there is pagtanaw nimo sa imong ulo. So the mind, sa akong mga belief system, akong mga decision making skills, are they helping me to obtain this certain goal, no? So before we go there, I think it's important for us to talk about goals versus systems. Okay? Because sa ato dali lang man medyo mag-determine ta og goal. Like, okay, let's say I want to save. Let's start sa murag basic. Okay, kung dili jud makaya, let's start with 1,000 pesos. I want to save 1,000 pesos. Okay. Kaya raman, di ba, pinakaadlaw imong paningkamot sa atong base, atong minimum wage karon, if dira ta mag-base, makaya raman nimo makatigom kag 1,000. But how fast does it leave your hands also?
Yeah.
Next is okay, let's say 10K, 50K, 100K, whatever the goal is, it's easy to say it.
Right.
Easy to sabihin ko, gusto ko magtigom ng 100,000 this year. Okay, sige, panginikamutan din ako. Walang goal. But then at the end of the year, pag-abot na sa pag-abli sa 2023, ang pangutana is naaba dito or wala.
Yon.
So again, balik ka sa mirror, tanawon na pud nimo kung sino itabo ngano man. Like, aside from all the external factors that led me to do certain things, no, tanan mga commercial sa Shopee na akong natanaw, tanan mga demands and mga requirements sa regular life, you know, just even if you're trying to survive with the simple na mga basic needs nimo, if nara ka dira, pero nganong wala nimo na-achieve or nganong na-achieve nimo?
Yes.
Okay. So the answer is, it's not really the goal itself, but it's more of the system that you have. So, kasi whatever the goal, if the system does not support the goal will not materialize. But even if you don't determine a goal, pero ang system ni mo the goal
Okay.
will just naturally follow. It's just like a tree and a fruit. So the system is the tree and the goal is the fruit. So if you have a systematic way of doing, like let's say, all right, system na ako is mag-save ko 1K every month. Simple lang, di ba? Very simple. You can change the numbers as much as you want. You can easily multiply it. You can say 2K, 3K, 5K. And then, okay, let's say 5K. So, ang system na ako is every quincenas, mag-set aside ko 2.5K diri sa akong certain nga bulsa diri, butang na ko diri. So, mo na imong sistema. So, pag at the end of the year, naturally, you can expect na ang imuhang punuan, kumbaga, nahimo ng 60K ang worth niya because simple multiplication, 5K every month times 12, 60K. So, mo na imong sistema. So at the end of the time frame that you determined, then naturally you can expect it. Dili na siya katingalahan. It's not gonna be surprising for you once you get there because you focus on the system rather than the goal.
Right. Importante ning system di ay no nga mahibaw-an nato. Murag siguro apil diha kanang imong lifestyle put part na sa system sermon, no? Yung lifestyle mo na mention nimo kanina kung sigita sa Shopee or sigita sa laag, lisod na no nya mag-goal ta og siguro pila dihang figure nga imong i-goal. So naapod na siya. Another thing, sermon, no, gusto nako panguntanon ang uban, ang ilang reason nga hindi sila ka save is number one, ang ilang salary nalang sa minimum, no. Siguro kung tan-awon nila murag negative pagani ning moabot sa ko kay deficit ko permanente. Ikaduha is naapa ko'y bayronon nga utang. So unsaon ako pag save kung naapa ko'y ginaapas nga utang. Okay.
That's very
Go ahead.
Yes, that's a very real nga daghan kayo sa to maka-experience na labaw na kay gikan tag experience pa taong pandemic. So a lot of difficulties happen, mga unexpected and unwanted nga events nga pushed us or our budgets and our lifestyle to the limit. Hantod sa nagbago siya, some people have already adapted, some people are still experiencing the pains until now. No, so siguro lang pastor kanang first of all, sit down with yourself, pray to God, ask for some wisdom. Siguro kay kumbaga God will give you the wisdom to understand the situation first and foremost. Sit down, take time. Lingkod na sa timplahay kape mong sarili. Ayaw sa pa-distract sa mga laing butang, work, mga bayro sa isa. Just sit down and take time to really devote some of your mental energy and some of your attention in this very important matter. Kung kabalo lang ta, di ba, kapila nag-mention ni Jesus kanang about money sa New Testament. And we know that the more Jesus repeats a certain topic, the more important it is and the more that we need to pay careful attention to it. Okay, so like I said kanina, Pastor, there are a lot of factors, pero kato na, mention ako tong goals and systems, pero naatay mental or psychological nga reasons why. We have and then we have emotional reasons why, and then we have physical reasons why, no. So murag kana simplify lang nato gamay diri sa mind, sa heart and sa atong body, no? Say na mga reasons nga nung mahinder ta pero first na mention nimo nga katupong about having debt and so that's why I can't save. It's a very real thing and it's nice. First of all, salamat ta kay naay nagpautang sa ato nitabang sa ato in our time of need. The next question is asan adto tong giutang nato? So you have to be serious with yourself, no? Who will kinsa pay mo kuan sa imo? Of course your loved ones, na uban na mo supported sa imo na uban nga i-down pud ka na nato na matanggal. But at the end of the day, ikaw ginang mag-take responsibility sa imong own actions and sa imong own sa gipangbuhat nimo dayi what basig na mga times nga nagtapol ka, times nga mga naningkamot jud ka pero wala jud. And those are the times that you really learn certain lessons, no? So even though you're still in the middle of the trial na murag bugatan ka kay nagasettle ka og mga debts, ayaw dagani ng debt ha.
Yes.
Ayaw jud dagani. I-settle jud na. Here's why. I'll tell you why. It's so important to settle debt because there are several layers to it. Number one, imong personal nga confidence, ma-affect maguna siya. So dili ka ano ba ka nang naay something that's always weighing you down, something in your mind na miski pag i-try nimo siya kalimtan, di gyud na siya mawala. I'll tell you a little secret. It's because money is a spiritual thing. It's
Alright.
not a physical thing.
Mhm.
So that's why bothered yun ka na perme. So miski pag ginagmay basta hinay-hinay, i-prioritize gid mo na imong debt. Hulugan jud na nimo siya miski pag unsa ka gamay na. I can see people nga mga kanang mga small business owners kanang very micro gid na business owners. Pero sila maningkamot sila, maghulog sila, magbayad sila sa mga debtor miski tag 100 per day ana nagabayad na sila. It's so important because it's about trust also. The trust na gihatag sa imong debtor, no, pag-loan niya sa imo is in good faith na siya, in goodwill. Let's just assume na ano na niya in good faith and in goodwill, trusting that you will return the money at the time that you promised. That's another thing. Pag mangutang ta, dapat na atay time frame. Dili mingon na sige lang, payable when able. Na may uban nga mo, na may uban nga mo ano mo accept ana. Pero sa ato ang sarili, at least mag-set lang taog ka ng murag, kumbaga range ba? Nga murag based sa akong capacity karon, based sa akong paningkamot, based sa akong panginabuhi, kani gid siguro ang range. Dili mo kumingon nga pagka December 2023, December 25 mahuma gyud tanan. But maybe give yourself a little bit of a range somewhere in the first quarter. In between that time range, if ingunani ang dagan, tig 1K, 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 purot na by that time. No? So,
Bitaw, no?
it's just a strategy and there is no shame in it. Ang shame is kanang daganan nimo.
Tinuod.
I think it's a shame. I think it's a dishonorable thing to do that.
Yes.
Pero if mag-ano ka, you humble down and you say, hey, sorry, I'm having a rough patch right now. But maningkamot jud ko para ma-settle na ko ni one way or the other. Just give me a little bit of time, but here's what I can do right now. Ito ang kaya ko. Ito lang talaga ang kaya ko, no? Kasi syempre hindi mo naman pwede tanggalin din yung mga basic needs ng family mo, especially if meron mga nag-depend sa iyo. Syempre unahin mo talaga sila.
Oo.
Because they are your main responsibility. But after that, the question is asa padulong tong laing nga kwanta. So kahit ano pastor, kahit kaya nimo kung 1K ang imong 500 ibutang nimo sa debt settlement and then ang 500 imong itigom o para napug kay paabante. I-partition lang good. Bahala basta ang
nindot imong ingon no nga to be mahimong honest sa imong debtor kay sa ila hapud nga mindset syempre mas maayo pa nga mabayran sila ginagmay kasi wala di sila mabayran no so para sila mas okay po ni at least honest pud ka sa ilaha nga mo pud di akong makaya karon no and dili pud murag kuan po na ba murag sign of trust po na nga kaniman siguro ako mabayad but I assure you nga mabayad ko. Sa hindi mo
flip it around.
Kaysa mahimong sinson na lang siya permanente follow up niya.
Sakit ana niya. It's a very real experience also like masinson ka niya imong ang nangutang sa imo murag very lavish ang ilang display. So mo sakit imong buot no kay sakita wala kong ibera and then I see him or her na usa na yung papalit asa asa nag-adto so of course kapangutan na ka mo to yung giuna dili ang ako ang needs and you had to suffer a little bit to extend that help to that person, diba? So there's a feeling of it's not just, no, it's not right. I feel like there is some sort of kumbaga na ay murag transgression na nahitabo ba ana gani. So it's better to do that, like to settle it little by little.
Okay.
Ana good.
Yeah.
Then ang kuan din ako pastor, ang point na ko to this topic is what if you flip it around? What if ikaw ang nagpautang? 'Di ba? Unsay gusto nimo buhaton sa nagpautang sa mo nagitabangan nimo in good faith, gusto gid nimo sa tabang and naa kay means to do it at that time pero karon ikaw na pud ang nanginanglan kunya dili siya mobayad and then ingunan ang behavior na ginapakita. Doble ang sakit sa imuha. So do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Love your brother and sister as you love yourself.
Yes.
Basic rule.
right. Tinuod no. And another thing ganina na-thrown ako sa imong sermon no, ang kaning pag minimum wage earner lang ko na makasave bagihapon ko. And after that let's go sa siguro mga basic tips nimo how to save. Okay.
It's a good question as well, pastor, no? So when you're starting out minimum wage. Okay, personally ako, ka-relate po I experience it. First couple of months, abot og tuig ana katila po ka na minimum wage so kasabot ko unsay feeling, no? At some point ang basic needs mo lang talaga ang kaya mo ma-fulfill and ma-sustain. So the only answer to that is, I think, no, you have to get serious with yourself and say, I need to increase my income. I cannot allow myself to stay at this level because the system, balik ta sa system, it's incomplete. No, dili pa siya at the level that I'm happy with it. Okay. So I need to improve my system. So kasi it's easy to say, yeah, well, tighten your belt, maningkamot ka, magtigom jud ka, mag-antos ka. Well, to a degree, yes. Kay may one of the surprising dako expense. Isang kaon. Dako siya nga expense. Matingala lang ka, it will start to pile up. At the end of the matingala ka, most of my money went there. So, yeah, it does, even if it's tanaw nimo basic na siya nga need, pero kung i-reduce lang nimo siya gamay, naa siya margin nga mahatag sa imuha. It's worth looking into.
Yeah, I've learned from you, no? Noted, Sir Mon.
Because anything that you do na makahelp sa imuha to get one step ahead, just use it. Diba? Miski pagod sa nakagamay nga forward momentum, it will help your vehicle move forward.
Yeah. Siguro tungod kay mayong ka nga minimum wage earner lang ka, pero based sa imuhang budget, dako day ka itong imuhang for food nga pwede man day nimo paggamayan didto. So iba kay nabi atay usahay no kanang mag-scan lang ta sa kanang sana Panda, Food Panda, and then kani. Pag snacks na ito. Winana ba? Pero dili lay kinahanglan, dili necessary, no? Pwede naman po siguro may nana. Yan ay mga kuano sahay. So mahinder hinoon tong imuhang budget.
Correct. And then katong Food Panda pud nakasulod na pud sa imong system. So it will continue. It's not just karon lang na ana. Of course, sure, karon naka-discount ka, pero sunod murag na ana kay mas open na ka sa ilahang services, mas gusto na ka mo gamit sa kay convenient, dali ana. Then expect that they will serve you more and you will pay them more, taking more out of your own budget. Na diri pa ang imong income. So there's only two ways to do it really, to save. It's either you cut back on your expenses or be more aware of your expenses. But if you cannot do that anymore, the only answer is you need to increase your income. You need to increase your earnings. You need to find ways to increase your earnings one way or the other, by becoming a better servant, by becoming a better employee, by becoming a more valuable, skilled worker. You can increase your asking price for your wages. You can sell a product. You can provide a service. One way or the other, you need to learn or ask God to teach you, connect you to the right person para matudluan ka how to earn more money. And I'll give you a little bit of a secret. It's not really that complicated. It's just doing good for your brother and sister. No? Anak sa Ginoo man, so gitabangan lang nimo siya. You just better his or her life. And of course, naturally, because their life has been made better by your product or service, then they will be happy to pay you. That's how you earn money. You earned it. You didn't win it from them. Nobody lost any money. Kumbaga, walay napildi, walay nadaog. Both of you won. That's the difference. Like, you earned something because you gave something good and they gave you something in return. Win-win situation.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Very clear, no? Ang tawag na to niya na kanang di ba ipadaghan ang imuhang basket for income, no? Para increase nimo ang imuhang income. By the way, good morning nga pala sa mga ka-ONP nato nga nakatune in karon. Hi diha kay Ate Lenny, good morning to you. Hi kay Ate Rebecca sa Kabantian, mayong pagpamati. Magbayad sa utang din ipon, ayaw sige utang kay mauna malunod sa imong bayonon nga pwede raman dili mangutang kay naaman ka work. Oo, bitaw, no? Yan. So lisod na hinuon mo salig kay ang nakautang ka and then wala nimo na bayran, no? Thank you Sir Mon sa imong explanation about savings. Okay, si Atilani, good morning. Inganana akong ginabuhat diri pastor since 2005. Nagmugna ko og co-op for savings. In 1 year, then sila magbaro sa ila money. So muna ang system pod ni Atilani with
Mhm.
their mga kaubanan, no. So tell us about co-op or anything nga pwede nimo invisan, no. Sir Bon, naabay mga sa imuhang experience maayo nga invisan nga makahatag pod og kanang siguro dako pod nga benefit sa imuha or dili man dako tama pod nga benefit sa imuha.
Mhm. Mhm. So, sige Pastor, in the general sense of this topic, it's called Allied Financial Services.
Okay.
Kanang co-op, kanang banks, kanang insurance, kanang murag. It's essentially you're working together with other people to pool your funds and benefit from that pooled fund.
Mhm.
Mao na siya ang mahitabo. So, learn more about it. Pero ang mga basic na structure dito sa Philippines is, of course, the banks, the insurance companies, and we have investment houses, and we have cooperatives. No, so mao na sila ang mga mutabang sa atua on being able to save our money. They all provide a specific niche in the financial space, no? Kung sa imong kailangan nga makuha, you need to talk to their representatives. Sabton gyud nimo, no? Siyempre, dili ka basta-basta mo sulod lang.
Yes.
the
Tinuod.
question is after understanding and asking relevant people, asking knowledgeable people about it, unsa bay, what do I get in exchange? Because that's the only question that you need to really answer. Sa akong 2,000 nga gibutang diri karong bulana, what do I get in exchange for that?
Mhm.
And if the trade-off makes sense, then go for it. Di ba? Kung advantageous siya for you, then go for it. I-provide man na nila so that na makakuha sila customer so they can gather funds, they can grow the company. At the same time, they can serve you as their customer. So, that's the first question that you ask. Is it worth it? With all the services that you're offering me, is it worth it? Because each of them has their own system. Ang sa co-op, wala sila kanang scheduled na payments, basta ma-fulfill nimo tong. And each co-op, it's so complex, Pastor, because each co-op has their own unique financial system.
Okay.
So, I cannot get into the details of each
Tama.
co-op. Kada co-op unique na siya. Pero, ang importante is, maghatag kag oras, maadto ka dito, mangutana ka.
Yeah.
Para kabalo ka.
Yeah.
Kung unsa kaning co-op na ni, unsa iyang gina-offer. They offer loans, they offer savings, they offer mortuary, mo man ang mga basic na services ako. Napoy uban nga co-op nga agricultural lang ilang ginahatag nga mga loan, na uban nga microfinancing. It's they have different purpose. Na uban nga OFW ang ilang gina-cater, nga pastor. So it's important to understand what this specific co-op you're referring to and what they provide, what they offer. So understand the services and know if it's worth it or not. Just do the math a little bit. So basic mathematics. Sa insurance companies,
yes.
They offer, most insurance companies, not all, if not all, naagi na sila mga plans nga naa siya systematic nga billing collection. So it helps you, pero in the first 2-3 years, dili pa gina siya dako kayo ang money. Mga long-term na mga plans sa mga insurance companies, like they will constitute about na uban nga mga term nga 5-7 years, 10 years, na 15 years, na 20 years. So kani siya medyo long-term na gini siya if inguna na ka manukad ka nang i-target nimo sa imong life. I mean, set yourself as an example. How old are you now? Like how young are you now? I should say. I'm 32 right now. If I get a plan that will maka-project siya siguro pag abot sa mga 20 years, ang iyang range is mga nasa 1M to 1.2 range. So I can expect it to deliver that for me. No, it's just a matter of understanding what the seed is. Kumbaga durian, ang bunga niya durian. Tanom kag durian, harvest kag durian. Tanom kag mangga, harvest kag mangga. So in the same way, when you associate yourself with certain allied financial services, kung sa bangko, ang ma-expect nimo is ang ilang time deposit for 1M is mga 1.5%, depende. So at the end of the year, ay mong 1M mo tubo na siya 15K minus taxes. So mo na siya ang bunga. So it's a matter of understanding kasi it's doing the research by yourself and asking people to assist you in that specific field because it's too general, pastor, if we go into it, or murag
Right.
it will be very time consuming if we go into each one at this conversation. So,
Mm.
murag starting pa man
Yeah.
ni siya, so
Tinuod.
ta.
Oo. Yeah, and I'm expecting a part 2 ani nga tong discussion pero
Agoy, masubo na.
tinuod no. Anyway, thank you sa mga comments, insights ninyo diha, no, mga ka-ONP. Salamat kaayo. Yan, salamat ana Ate Lenny for sharing imong idea ka. Nindot na no. Si Ate Lenny, by the way, dani sa Japan, no. So maupod siguro
I
ni ilang
see.
ginahimo didto. Okay. Question nagastorya naman tag investment karon. Apil pod ba diha sa kanang ato ang online investment na atay mga ginatawag na online investment, any short advice about online investment?
Okay, yeah. Online investment. So it's a long line of things, but
Yeah.
if you're really just starting out, the first thing that you need to do is get some ID.
Okay.
SSS, UMID, ana, because that's a requirement. Karon nga online na, unahon yun animo na you have all the proper identification documents because matanggong ka dira if wala. So you need to have your SSS number at the very least,
Mhm.
PIN if naa, ana, pero SSS murag pwede na nimo unahon, no. So at least pag nana na siya, mo na siyang basic na foundation, then you can move on to the next you need to enroll in certain banks, no, online
Okay.
nga banks. Para naakay murabag kumbaga kung sa barko pa naakay launching port pa murag naakay mo na siya ang port, the bank is the port. So you put all your supplies there, you put all your money in the bank, and then diha na ka mamili kung asa nimo siya ipang-invest sa imong kwarta gikan sa imong online nga bank. And a few good online banks right now, I think ang isa sa mga pinaka-digital karon nga banks, no? They're not paying me to say this, pero Union Bank is a good online bank. BDO karon murag na ano sila, naigo sila ato ilang murag mga
I see.
although I'm a BDO customer as well, naman po sila yung mga measures na dibuhat nga murag na complicate na noon akong life as a user. Mas daga na siyang security measures, but
Yan.
I appreciate it still. No, so anyway, online bank, and then finally next step is asa ni mo ipamutang imong kwarta, no. Daga na tag mga online nga investment karon nga pwede butangan. Ano mga sikat karon, Pag-ibig MP2, ana.
Yes.
Research na ninyo siya. High interest nga banks, ING and CIMG are high interest digital banks that you can put your money in. Ang ING nindot kay o ang CIMG pod, no, pero ako ING ako ginagamit. Butang lang nimo imong kwarta dito. You don't need to sign any contract. There is no lock-in period, but it will earn 2.5% interest every year. So subject to there's a withholding tax. Yeah, I think the term is withholding. Basta na siya tax na ginabayaran, pero muna na siya 2.5% every year. So kung magbutang na lang ka og kwarta, dito na lang sa ka-earn po siya, and every month na siya gamay nga makita nimo nga mo positive ang imong account without you doing anything. Essentially, gibutang na yung kwarta dito, and then they give the interest. The reason why they can do this is because they are a fully digital bank. So wala sila yung mga physical nga locations, ana. They have a card, you can withdraw the money, and they're regulated by Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, so you don't have to worry about that, no. They're still under regulation, and that's one of the more important things, like who's regulating you when you're investigating
Tama,
sa mga financial system. So asa day mo gapanubag? It's either sa Bangko Sentral, sa SEC, or sa Insurance Commission, or sa Cooperative Authority. Na sila dira. So kay authority sa government nga imo pong maduulan in case you need some enlightenment or guidance when dealing with these specific financial institutions.
Yeah. Wow. Grabe, no? Murag na-excite me, Sir Mon, nga makatuon aning imuhang mga gina-share karon. Salamat daw, sabi ni Ate Lenny. Thank you. Ate Catherine, sabi niya, maayong buntag. Thank you, Sir Mon, for the reminder. Learn a lot para pagsugod karon, no. Thank you, Ate Catherine, for tuning in sa programa nato through Facebook Live. And syempre sa atong mga ka-ONP pod sa radyo. Now, one more thing, Sir Mon, no, mapastor no, ati ka Sir Mon ba? Sermon, unsay atong encouragement sa ato ang mga listeners today, especially those nga musugod pa, no? Musugod pa sa pag-save karon nga tuig.
Don't give up.
Mm.
That's if it's a short sentence that I can give you as an encouragement, just don't give up. Start small. Be grateful. Thank God with what you have, with what you've been given. Pagbutihin mo yung anong meron ka. Kaya mo yan, no? You can do it. It's doable. You don't need to compare yourself to other people. It's okay. If anything, you just need to compare yourself with God's standard. Kung anong standard ni Lord, doon ka mag-compare. Tingnan mo yung sarili mo doon sa standard na i-establish ni Lord para sa atin. Doon tayo mag-base. Tapos, makita mo na, okay, aside from the standard na ipakita ni Lord sa atin, ginabigyan niya tayo ng grace every day. It's in God's word. He says, like, ask wisdom and I will give it to you. Diba sa James? It's infinite. God gives His Spirit without limit. The resources are there. No, sometimes you need to ask God, Lord, nahirapan na talaga ako. Mabigat, no? I need some strength to be able to overcome this challenge. Lord, please give me the strength to do this. Kasi kung ako lang mag-encourage na ako sa inyo, sure, I can give you words of encouragement, but nothing beats yung personal mo na relationship with God that can give you the necessary strength to overcome the trials and the challenges of this world. So, kanang finances, isa lang na siya ka-area, di ba? You can do it. You can overcome it. And then it will stem out into the other branches of your life as well. Of course, they're all intertwined.
Amen.
One way or the other. So I encourage you. You can do it. Don't give up. But more than my encouragement, I would encourage you to go to God, ask for wisdom, strength, empowerment, encouragement, the Spirit, everything. Ask kay God, and you will have more than what you need.
Yeah. Sermon, thank you so much. Time karon nga kabuntagon and God bless. Hope to hear from you more. There is atong programa, no? Sunod na pod pohon. Sermon. God bless and to your
God
family.
Bless, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor. Likewise. Take care. God bless.